Hello, hello, and welcome back to Password. So, we will be doing day 19 of Tyson's route today. So that'll be fun. It came at a cost of dreaming, but it was at least a nice escape from everything else going wrong in the house. Oh my god, it's so exciting. There was something scratching at the back of my mind, a thought or a sound. I wasn't sure until it became clearer. Oi! Huh? Thanatos? Yeah, it's me. Where are you? Where am I? Am I dreaming? Sure you are. You're dreaming. Why can't I see anything? What did you want to see? Just open your eyes. Home? I want to see home. Sure. It felt like I was opening my eyes and my living room came into view. That was all, just my normal living room. Or at least it was at first. This your house? Yeah, this is my house. It's small. You're small. Coming from someone who lives in a mansion. You're just jealous. Am I? Sure you are. Nice house, big open space. Why wouldn't you be a little jealous? It it would be nice to have those things and a fancy house, but it wouldn't be home. Home is just a place you label. It could be anywhere. You're right. Home is just a place. But I can have $1 million in my pocket and it just wouldn't make me happy, you know? No, I don't understand. Because you're a robot. Are you saying that robots can't feel happiness? Maybe. I don't know. You know, as a person who's a fan of Tetsuan Atom, I say that robots can have feelings. It'd be nice if you could, but I don't really know. Then what would make you happy? Actually happy? I want off the mountain. I want to return home with all my friends. And then what would you do? What do you mean, what would I do? I'd enjoy not being in danger with the people I love. Even knowing what you do now, the Vault, Orlando's family, that someone wished so many people dead. I don't. Save it. Let's just take stock, shall we? You remember this. How are you? This is just your dream, genius. This is a memory. That's Tyson, tonight. Maybe. That depends on what you believe, anyway. What I believe? You don't know if you trust me. You don't know if you do what I say, Tyson is going to be safe. You're right. I just don't want him to end up like that. Guess we'll see tonight, huh? Before I could get another word in, everything faded to black again. The moment I closed my eyes, they turned that way. Maybe I was thinking about home too much, or maybe it was just my want for this whole thing to be over, that made home appear so often in my dreams. Either way, I had had enough of that dream for one night. I woke suddenly, bundled up in the bed sheets with Tyson right next to me, his arm around my body and holding me right in front of his. Despite how distant he seemed to be to be the night before, here he was spooning me all the same. Laying perfectly still, I kept warm and just listening to him breathing. For the past couple of days, he'd been on edge, but now he was just so peaceful. Hopefully, the lack of Thanatos under his bed was helping. And I want to place my hand against his. I felt him flinch. I waited before trying again, but it was enough to arouse him and cause him to pull away. Ty, are you awake? I rolled over to my side as he turned his head to look at me, flat on his back. Am now. You were hugging me. So? Nothing. It was just nice is all. Well, sorry to wake you. He rolled back onto his side, his back facing me, and said nothing else. It took me a few seconds to register what happened and shifted closer to just cuddle him from behind. Get off, Dave. And just in the same way I tried to touch him, I flinched, him removing my hand to rest the rest of the way himself. Did I do something wrong? No. Did something happen? Dave, I'm trying to sleep. But I sat up in bed and stared at him, facing away from me. He had his eyes shut tight, removing any chance of me trying to catch his attention before I figured it was just best to get out of bed. Stealing glances at Tyson's back while I got dressed, I could tell from how his ears twitched he was listening to me move around. If anything, I was just confused what I was meant to be doing. So as soon as I was decent, I left the room quietly. Stepping out into the front yard, I breathed into the cold air as I rubbed my eyes. It wasn't coffee, but the crispness was quickly waking me up. What did I have to do today? I thought back to what I've been told, what was going to happen, or planned to have happen anyway. But beyond spending the evening with Dean, there wasn't much else to really take up my day. Just a bunch of waiting. Then there was Tyson, who went from being confrontational to grumpy to distant all over the span of a day. I don't like seeing him like that. Clutching my chest over the area where it hurt, I wondered just what was happening to my brother, or if he was more than my brother at this point. I just don't know. I always came down to not knowing, but that alone made me slump over the railing in front of me. Oh, Tyson. Part of me wanted him to just appear and call me out on being down. Part of me wanted him to say something, anything to me that reaffirmed that we were still good, that he was willing to talk to me. Dave. I spun around, noticing Benson standing there. I hadn't realized that I had left the door open. Oh. Oh? Heavens, my boy! What happened? I'm sorry, good morning. Good morning. Why might you be out here this early? More importantly, by yourself. Just waking up. Figured the freshness, the fresh air would do me some good. You left the door open. You left the front door open, which was, especially at this hour, quite suspect. Oh, sorry. Quickly slipping out of the door, much in the same way Benson had appeared, was Oswin, looking a bit scruffier as if he'd just woken up himself. Oh, it's just Dave. Yeah, just me and Benson. Well, yes, I'm aware Benson would be out here. Sorry, did the door being open bother both of you as well? Not overly. I was mostly just curious as to what was happening out this way. You weren't scared? This is my house. Why would I be scared? He refers to those in the woods. Ah, yes, well, with Benson around, I'm quite comfortable. Truth be told, were I to see that rabbit again, I'd gladly introduce him to a bullet. Right. I looked out to the trees, scanning them for any sign of Jack, for any fleeting glimpse of white that I could catch, but there was nothing, and just various shades of green as far as I could see. Do you have any plans for today, Dave? Only ideas. Why? Oh, never mind then. Did you need me for something? I watched him look to Benson quickly before returning his gaze to me. Not today. Not anymore. Perhaps tomorrow. Are you sure? If it's important, I can make time. We could do whatever it is now. I'd rather hold off. It's hardly important anyway. You're sure? Positive. Okay then. Sure. Before I forget, Dave,
You'd be best to not leave the door open in the future, especially those leading outside. I don't want to cause anyone to think we've got intruders now, do we?
No, I guess not. I'll try and be more mindful in the future. Oh my god.
Now, Dave, have you made a pot of coffee yet?
No, I just came out here.
Pity. I'll have to grab one later then.
You're skipping breakfast?
More? I have something more pressing to attend to first, and tried to take a gamble on coffee being made.
And Benson couldn't have made it for you?
Well, true, I suppose.
Shall I then? No, I'll go do it. I'm up. I may as well make breakfast for people too.
If you wish, my boy. Just call out should you ever need a hand, however.
Both of them wandered back inside, leaving me to my thoughts. I turned back to look out at the lawn, just thinking things over. Not there was anything specific for me to focus on. I just needed less to worry about. Less things to worry me. It wasn't long before I turned around and headed inside as well, making sure to close the door behind me as I made my way to the kitchen. Still being the first to arrive, everything was cold, and I started with the lights and the coffee machine. As the machines buzzed to life as it boiled water, I milled beans and was treated to a fresh scent of coffee. Part of me wondered if I had a life ahead of me as a barista, given how just a small joy it was, bringing a smile to my face. It wasn't as if I'd thought much about my future or what I'd do after school. I didn't think I had it in me to do something artistic as a career. As fun as it was, I wanted that to stay fun, something to just relax with, but making coffee almost seemed to be the middle ground for that. Pouring myself a cup, I continued brewing, so there was enough for the others when they surfaced. Drinking it down slowly, my mind wandered to the prospect of the money offered to us, as if opening a cafe of my own was something I could use for it.
Oh, you've got a smile on your face.
I looked up to see Dean leaning in the doorway, catching himself in a yawn before wondering closer. Just thinking about making coffee, that's all.
In any particular way, or?
Oh, it's like as a job, I guess. What it'd be like to open a cafe, stuff like that.
Could be fun. I know Freddy loves his pizza place, so maybe we're just an entrepreneur waiting to happen.
Bless you. The snicker gave me away, and Dean joined me in having a chuckle as he poured himself a cup of coffee.
When we get home, I could see if Freddy could talk to you about setting something up if you're that keen.
Maybe. I think getting out of here would be the first step, right? And that seems... I trailed off, and Dean nodded slowly, drinking from the coffee in his mug.
Yeah, a bit like that, isn't it? What's for breakfast, by the way?
Don't know yet. Maybe pancakes again?
Want some help?
Nah, I got it.
Then would it be a bother if I just stayed here and watched? No one else is up yet.
Feeling lonely?
Not so much lonely as just no sense in being alone at the moment.
Oh, then, sure. You can stay, no worries. Dean made himself comfortable, and I got to work mixing batter. It was just like the other morning I made pancakes too. Oven on to make sure I could keep them warm, and I started making the batter. Occasionally I look over to Dean, who would sometimes be looking my way with a smile, or fondly looking out the window to the world beyond. Later this evening, we'd be spending some time together, just the two of us, and the thought made me excited, nervous. It was hard to say. Just now, we were just hanging out. There wasn't any expectations of anything more than that. But tonight, it'd be different. It'd be a lot different.
Oh, I can smell pancakes.
And not the coffee. I look up from the frying pan to look at the door, and just as Haas and Sal wandered around the corner. Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Making breakfast already?
Dean, why aren't you helping?
He didn't want any help.
Ah, okay.
Still handling it fine on your own, Dave? Yep, I'm fine. Haas shrugged and made his way over to the kettle to make himself some tea, while Sal watched over the coffee pot.
Should we go wake the others?
No, I can keep these warm until everyone arrives. After all, excuse me. After all, I think more sleep would be better than less sleep, right? And yet here you are, awake before any of us making breakfast. Well, I couldn't sleep.
Did something happen?
No, just one of those nights, dreaming and thinking about things.
Did you need to talk about it?
Not really. It's just more the same sort of thing, worrying about what's going to happen and so on.
But are you okay otherwise?
I think so, mostly anyway.
If that changes, let us know. We've been over this enough times that you get the point by now.
Right, thanks, Haas. I went back to cooking, and the three of us made a small chat, eventually moving into the dining room when the others started to show up. Hearing Orlando and Roswell's voice in the other room brought a smile to my face, but I was so out of it that I didn't notice that I heard another visitor.
Hey.
I jumped, but Ty was behind me, catching my arm and holding it steady, so just whatever was in the pan didn't go flying. Hey! He shifted away, moving over to the coffee machine, saying nothing else but lingering around where Dean had been. Continuing to cook, I felt his eye on my back, silently until I'd had enough. I thought you'd still be in bed, trying to sleep.
I can't sleep.
Because?
Just because.
Sure. I kept stealing glances Tyson's way, unsure of what to say or do. I was scared, but not for my own safety, only his. As I went to say something, next he was already making his way to the dining room, the conversation in there falling silent when he appeared. I stared at the door. Ty passed through for a few moments before turning back to the pancakes. Figuring now was the time to bring everything out for people to eat. Then, following that, I had to find something to do with my day. Things were still in the process of returning to normal. Whatever constituted as normal for these days. Sai sat at the far end of the table. The rest of us had pleasant enough conversation, although it was clear we were still waking up. Then after we were done eating, everyone split off again. Except for me, it was back into the kitchen to clean up. I made the mess, so I may as well clean it up, right? I just let my mind wander, occasionally looking out of the window. I assumed keeping my hands busy would keep me from overthinking, but mindlessly doing chores seemed to be doing the opposite.
Junior, what are you doing?
Washing the dishes? Thanatos was walking along the countertop, looking down into the water before looking back up to me, pouting.
But why?
Who else is going to do it?
Benny Boy, maybe. It's his job.
I guess. He's kind of busy keeping us all safe, though. Least we can do is keep the place clean.
God, you're insufferable.
God, I love Thanatos. Says the talking rat robot.
Hey now, be nice. Didn't your daddy teach you any manners?
Didn't yours? I looked at Thanatos and saw his attention was at the door to the kitchen. The moment I followed the direction he was looking, I could hear someone approaching. But Thanatos didn't make any attempt to move, standing there before shooting me a sideways glance.
We have company.
Hello, Dave.
I looked at Roswell and watched as his eyes drifted from me across to Thanatos, almost doing a double take upon seeing him. He was staring at Thanatos with a frown, unsure what to say or do from what I could tell.
Is that a...
I looked from Orlando to Thanatos and back again, nodding. A rat?
Dave, a rat in the kitchen is not a good thing.
Oh, don't worry, he's a pet.
Says who? He's not yours, is it?
Well, no, but...
Well, it's not like he told you himself, did he?
I looked at Thanatos, uncertain, but all he seemed to do was stare at Roswell.
Well, come on. Find someone, to help, someone help me find something to move him.
Move him? Why move him for?
Well, we don't want him falling into the sink, do we?
I was thinking we could put him outside, or at least very least out of the kitchen.
He's fine. He's not hurting anyone. Well, he bit Dean yesterday, but still.
So two things. You knew this rat was here, and he bit Dean?
Well, he was treating him pretty rough, so he was asking for it.
Well...
That's cute. Oh, Orlando marched forward, snatching up the phone. Where's my phone? No, it's over there. Yeah, we're gonna go grab that real quick. It's a good thing I don't edit these. It's more fun this. Holy shit, that's a lot of notifications. What? It's just. Why? Okay, let's search you. COLANDER. And I didn't erase the previous thing I had searched, so whatever. I don't know. Let's. Okay. Why are there two different pronunciations?
Colander.
Colander? Okay. A perforated utensil for washing or draining food. What? What? No, I'm going to Google. You know, we're going to Google so I can get a photo instead of just looking at Webster. Colander. What the fuck is the... Wait. I always thought these things were just called strainers. What the fuck? Is this not just a strainer? Why does it have a stupid fancy name? Look, I get that I'm stupid, right? But actually though, I don't understand. Okay, well, I'll put back on my headphones so I can listen to the music and grab my stupid lap thing so I can grab my mouse and have that there. I'm gonna drink some apple juice before reading again. Okay. Snatching up the colander from where it was, hanging and promptly dropping it over Thanatos.
Well, you've trapped him, now what?
I guess sliding something underneath and find something heavy to put it on top so he so we have him secure until we find out who he belongs to.
Are you alright in there? I could hear him kick against the side of the colander, but only the once, seemingly resigned to being held down.
You'll be fine. He has air holes.
I suppose so.
Does he have a name?
Yeah. Osmond called him Thanatos.
Thanatos? The god of death? I know what that is. I've played Persona 3.
You know what the name means?
That almost sounds like you know what the name means.
Does it matter who knows? Does it matter who knows what about whatever name? Who names their rat after a god of death?
Orlando slipped a plate under the calendar and quickly passed it off to Roswell, who almost fumbled the contained rat, but held it solidly from above.
So, I get to decide what we're gonna do with this.
Well, I mean, I don't mind putting him somewhere after I've finished the dishes, unless someone wants to take over.
I'd be happy to wash the dishes if I didn't have to deal with it, but I really like him just not being in the kitchen.
That's easily done. Here, I'll take him. I held out for the trap, and Roswell made no sign of handing it over.
Do you think he belongs to Benson? Maybe Osmond?
If he belonged to Oswin, then why is he letting the rat wander around the house?
I guess he's just used to having free reign.
With a house this big, it's no wonder he doesn't get lost.
No wonder he's found the kitchen then. He's probably hungry.
Well, what do you say?
Roswell, jostled the trap in his arms, but got nothing in response, instead passing it back over to me.
Interesting rat. Very interesting. Very heavy rat.
What do you mean by heavy?
I just mean that he's heavy. Heavier than a normal rat anyway.
Oh, yeah, he's really heavy. I chuckled and watched as Orlando's face shifted, him not looking too pleased about something. Orlando, meanwhile, was already sliding to position himself at the sink now that I was holding the rat.
How about you deal with him, Dave?
Oh, sure.
Want some help?
Oh, sure.
I was kind of talking to,
He gestured to me, and I shook my head, flashing him a quick smile. Nah, it'll be fine. I'll just go somewhere else, find somewhere safe to put him. Realistically, I wanted to have some words with Thanatos, but that was going to be hard while keeping the secret that he could talk. Orlando had Roswell's shoulder stopped him from putting up another word, and I quickly made my escape with Thanatos still hidden in the colander. I was a little thankful that I didn't run into anyone else on the way to the basement, assuming that would have been the best place to drop him off, with it being dark and fairly out of the way. Taking the stairs barely one at a time, wanting to make sure I didn't drop him to the moment we hit the floor, I put the plate down and lifted the colander.
It took you long enough.
What were you even doing? It's another thing to... Is this another thing you need to do for tonight, or...
Nah, you've got that plate. You've got that covered well enough. Pretty sure, so long as we have a repeat of last night, you're in the clear.
Then what?
Checking out my options.
Like you were with Dean yesterday?
Something like that. But had another thing I wanted to ask you before we were rudely interrupted.
I didn't expect Orlando to trap you like that either.
Not if he knew I wasn't a rat, eh?
Still, you have feelings, right? Thanatos almost seemed offended that I'd have asked, but didn't clarify at first, almost seeming to think it over.
That's a complicated question.
Can machines have feelings?
A matter of opinion. Not as if I'm a standard case, anyway. Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
As if things went went wrong from your for your master, you'd be sad?
Of course!
But feelings.
Well, I can emulate them well enough. At the end of the day, it's just an emulation. So long as I can make you think I'm feeling an emotion, it's good enough, isn't it?
So, really, you never get sad? Happy? You said something about being bored at some point.
Maybe I picked up actual emotions after so many times going through the same thing that I learned them.
Sure. But, what did you want to ask me?
Come with me. It's important that we do this somewhere else.
He scurried over to the room with the vault door, and I followed him inside. When I had the door closed behind myself, he spoke.
So, here's the question. Are you willing to die?
I'm sorry, what?
Not that complicated. Just asking if you're willing to die.
For what? I mean, no, maybe. I like being alive, mostly, but...
But...
You're asking me for a reason, aren't you?
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But it's an important question, and yeah, there's a reason.
But you're not going to tell me.
Nah, I'll tell you. Reason's pretty simple, too.
He looked up at me, looking serious, or maybe it was grim. Either way, despite me being so small and standing on the floor, I felt uncomfortable.
There'll be a day coming, potentially, where you'll need to make a choice.
A choice? Or of if I'll die?
In place of someone else, yeah.
Who? Is someone going to... His expression said it all. No. What's the password? We can fix it, right?
Not when you're the one that makes the call.
What do you mean?
Remember, this works on trauma. If you make the call and willingly die a quick death, can't be traumatic, right? Also, can't save yourself if you don't survive.
So that's it. Someone's going to die, or I'm going to die instead.
I'm just asking if you're willing. If you are, I'd ask you why. If you aren't, then we might not be walking into a mess.
What's going to happen?
Depends. How the next couple days go. We might be facing a worst case sort of deal, yeah? That being everyone kneeling over for one reason or another.
Might? Why are you bringing this up if it might not happen?
You want me to just sit back and watch you all die?
What I want is for you to just not be so difficult.
Fat chance of that happening.
So what? All I've got to do is wait to see what happens?
Pretty much. Die or don't. You have to make the call. If you're lucky, you won't need to die.
I eyed him warily, sitting down at the floor to rest my feet. Can I ask you something, Thanatos?
What?
Your master, right? What were they like?
You'd want to know. Why do you want to know?
I'm just curious. There has to be someone that you're nice to, right?
I'm plenty nice. But my master is, good.
Just good?
What do you expect me to say? Of course he's nice. Nice enough, anyway.
But he's also good.
That's complicated.
What's complicated about it?
What even is good? There's no, that's not something you can really program.
Why not? Just put the, programming in for what's good and what's bad, easy.
You're talking about programming morality into a machine?
You can't. They follow commands, right? So why not give them morals too?
Nice thought, that. But not how it works.
Then how do you know if your master is good? He went to retort, but stopped, caught off guard.
He's good.
If you say so.
Well, ignoring the killings and the manipulation and everything, he's good. Good enough, anyway.
Killing doesn't sound good.
He's doing it for a good reason.
Yeah, the whole marked for death thing and saving 2 people thing, right?
2?
Yeah, that's what Osmond said, right? That it was 2 people.
Right. Guess he would be, saving 2 people.
Oswin or your master?
Isn't it obvious?
No.
My master only cares to save 1 person. 1 person, and that's it.
Just one?
Just 1. The thing that, they think that saving this 1 person is the key to stopping this whole mess. Anyone else, well, that's a bonus, huh?
Do you know, who it is that they want to save?
Of course.
But you're not going to tell me.
Nope. Sorry, kid. That's just, how this whole thing has got to go.
But then, why are you asking me if I'm willing to die? So I could sacrifice myself for your master?
Like I said, end of the day, it's your choice. You make the choice willingly, without me asking, without me saying anything. Not even to save my master. You just sometimes make that choice.
But why?
You never, survived to tell me why you did it. So your guess is as good as mine.
Oh. I played with my hands, looking at the floor. Thanatos bringing up my own death felt so surreal that I didn't register any worry or sadness in that moment. Just confusion.
Look, Junior, I'm not a machine. I'm just the machine. I don't get life. I don't get what's going on through anyone's head. I just watch things happen and remember it.
So you don't care?
No, I don't. I can't. It doesn't bother me. I'm just trying to get what was asked of me done.
Okay.
Yeesh, you're a downer, huh?
Sorry. I caught Thanatos looking at me, but I didn't really know what else to say.
What are you planning to do anyway?
I don't know. Maybe go find someone to hang out with. Maybe something else. I'm just sort of down now.
Going to investigate someone else's death later?
Huh? What do you mean?
It's what you were doing yesterday. Figured you'd make an effort to go look into Benson's next.
Oh, I wasn't planning on it, but do you think I should?
Maybe. Today, tomorrow. Doesn't matter to me at all. Just maybe something to consider.
I guess I could go ask Vincent about it. You never know.
There you go. Do something you can focus on today.
Ah, man, he's just super cute, right? Second best boy behind Tyson. I'll do it tomorrow. I've got something else I want to do today.
Like what?
I've got some things with Dean later.
What? Like a date?
I shrugged at him, wondering why he was even asking.
It's not really a good time for that, is it?
If not now, then when? We could die tomorrow.
I guess. Look, none of my business. Just a strange thing to do now of all times.
Because of tonight?
Pretty much. You keep that wolf, boring your bed for one more night, and you're clear. Just don't forget.
I won't. Promise. I stood slowly, dusting myself off. Well, I should go. Roswell and Orlando probably want to know what I ended up doing with you.
And what are you going to say?
That I put you somewhere safe, that's all.
That'll do, I guess.
When I opened the door, I watched Thanatos scurry away into the darkness, out of sight. I wondered where he'd disappear to, or how he managed to slip away by the time I thought to ask, wow, or how he managed to slip away, but by the time I thought to ask, he was long gone. As I climbed the stairs and stepped out of the foyer, Roswell was sitting on the stairs, seemingly waiting for something. Oh, Roswell, what are you doing?
Waiting for you.
Me? Why me?
The rat?
Oh, right. I put him somewhere safe, don't worry.
Uh-huh.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. Or fine enough, anyway.
Well, good. We looked at one another for a bit, me trying to figure out if Roswell was trying to figure something out, and maybe he was doing the same for me. So, you were waiting for me because of the rat?
Well, yeah. Did he bite you at all?
No.
Did anything happen? You were gone a while.
I got distracted down in the basement, the vault and stuff, you know.
But does that rat bother you at all? Anything seem strange about it?
Maybe. I haven't met met a lot of rats before.
No rat is meant to be that heavy, Dave.
Maybe he just eats a lot.
Don't act dumb, Dave. That rat was way heavier than a normal animal that had eaten something.
Well, what do you think it means then, that he's that heavy?
Oh, well, that's something I was hoping to find out from you, really. I have a guess, but...
What's your guess?
Well, that he's not a rat, for starters.
You saw him. He's a rat, isn't he?
He looks like a rat, but... who's to say he's not a polymorph tanuki, or a glamoured fox, or even a unicorn?
You've lost me.
The whole idea was that we see isn't exactly what it's true, right? So, what if he's not a rat at all, and he just chooses to look like one?
You're making it sound like he has, like, the ability to choose things and think.
And who's to say he can't? Fact is, that rat is suspicious. To me, anyway.
So, what did you want me to do about it? Be careful?
Well, obviously, but...
I watched as he looked over the way towards the basement, thinking things over.
I might have to go look to see what I can find. It's a new thing to come up since everything else started.
Oh, alright. Good luck, I guess. He still might be in the basement where I let him go.
Alright.
One last thing. Have you seen Dean at all today? Since breakfast, I mean?
Why?
Just wanted to go look for him.
I think I saw Dean heading outside, to the backyard. I don't know where he would have gone from there, but that's the last I saw of him.
Alright, thanks. Let me know how your investigation into the rat goes.
Oh, don't worry, I will. Assuming I find him. Wish me luck.
Hopping off to the stairs, he wandered towards the basement and disappeared out of sight, heading down the steps. Steps? Wow, I can't. Once he was gone, I wandered over to the backyard in search of Dean. Dean? I made my way over to the greenhouse, closing the door behind me and breathing out as my heart rate leveled out again. Dean, are you in here?
Dave, pleasant surprise seeing you here.
Hey, just came to see what you're doing.
Just tending to a couple things. Was actually going to try wilting. Wilting something for whittling something for you, given it's been a while.
You were what?
Whittling, wood carving, you know.
Oh, neat.
Everything all right?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound very convincing.
He patted me firmly on the shoulder, and then promptly knocked me backwards into a bag of potted soil, so I was sitting.
What's on your mind, handsome?
Just troubled about stuff, you know, the usual.
That's not good. That's well, the usual.
Sure. There's just a lot going on. Hell, even Thanatos showed up again this morning.
The rat?
Yeah. Dean scratches his chin and sat down next to me, thinking it over.
What did he want?
Dunno, but Roswell and Orlando showed up, and then they moved him just so he wasn't in the kitchen.
So he was hungry?
Well, he was a robot. He wouldn't want to eat anything.
You never know. He might want chips.
Chips?
Microchips.
I gave Dean a half-hearted chuckle, but then shrugged. I guess I'll ask him next time I see him.
That's the spirit.
He got up again, picking up a knife. What's the knife? And, a small piece of wood. Also, he joined me again on the bag of soil. He set the knife down, nearby and started, looking over the block of wood carefully. Is it like his hunting knife? Can I see it? Is it the same knife that was in Haas? I'd like to know. So, this is what you were doing, going to do all day?
Yeah, well, yeah, I have a deadline, don't I?
For what?
Tonight.
Oh, right. The thing Tyson told me about. The thing tonight, I mean.
That's right.
I nodded, setting the piece of wood down to face me properly, looking me over.
Excited?
For the thing tonight? Maybe a little.
Only a little? Well, that's disappointing.
No, I mean, I guess I'm curious about what's involved and what's going to happen, but I suppose I'm just keeping an open mind.
I think that's not a bad way to look at it. After all, it could go terribly for all we know. At least we'll have a story to tell after.
I hope so. Something nice would be, well, a nice change of pace.
Well, then hopefully all goes well.
Does that mean I should go find something else to do in the meantime? Like, if you're going to spend the time until then working on the, I gestured to the wood beside him and got a quick series of nods.
If you don't mind, yeah. Won't be a surprise if I don't get it finished in time.
All right, that's fine. I suppose I can catch up with you later, right?
Looking forward to it.
Dean saw me out before I closed the door behind me, so he could focus on his carving. The air was still fresh and crisp, and for a moment I forgot how exposed I was out here. Immediately my eyes went to the trees, but I found myself staring beyond larger than normal. Not because I saw something, but because I was getting used to it again, slowly. It didn't make me hesitate in getting back inside. The moment I closed the door behind me and turned around, I noticed Ty standing by the door leading into the dining room, watching me. Ty?
Yeah.
What's up?
Nothing.
Oh. He was picking at the fur on his arm again, frowning.
What were you doing outside?
Talking to Dean, about the thing tonight.
Right.
Are you, good? You've been a little,
Fucking great. Why?
Did you sleep well?
Dave, what do you want?
I'm just worried about you.
I'm fine.
You're not, Ty. Or at least, something happened this morning. A little last night. And just, I don't know.
So, I'm allowed to have shit going on.
But not telling me? Did I do something wrong?
No.
But you were so cold. Like you were en Route C. He sighed, shrugging.
Look, if it'll make you feel better, we can watch a movie.
Really?
Don't sound too excited.
I just like doing stuff together. It's an improvement over this morning, too. He rolled his eyes to me. Maybe my excitement is too apparent.
You go watch it yourself.
No, it'll be good. I'll be good. We wandered upstairs with Haas leading the way. Haas? No, Tyson. Heading right into the rec room. I went and grabbed some beanbags while Ty busied himself with picking out a movie. And before long, he returned to push me back into my seat and sat down next to me.
There, happy.
I guess. He pressed play and the movie started. Some scary-looking movie, but it became pretty clear that it was meant to be a comedy. It was a nice distraction. But I kept catching myself looking across at Tyson, sitting there, tugging at his fur. Shuffling closer, I rested my head on his shoulder and near immediately he had his arm on around me, slightly rubbing my upper arm. Oh, that's cute. That's so cute. I feel him. I could feel him relax a little under my head, and I could I could hear him let out a heavy breath, and that he must have been holding. Soon after, he sank back into the beanbag to get comfortable. Then, when the movie was done, he didn't budge. Instead, he just stared at the main menu screen of the DVD when it had looped back. I liked that one.
Me too.
Did you want to watch another? He tensed and pulled away, sitting up again.
Maybe.
I put a hand on his leg, and he flinched slightly, but kept his eyes forward. Are you okay?
Don't know.
I mean, at least he's being honest, right? Right. Can I help you out somehow?
I don't know.
Then what do you want? Then what do you know? What's going on in your head, Ty? He flexed his fists briefly, looking sideways at... No, excuse me. At me as he hung his head.
You like Dean, right?
Dean's pretty good, yeah. Why?
No reason.
You can't just ask me that and expect me to think there wasn't a reason you were asking, Ty.
Okay, maybe there's a reason. So what?
It's bothering you, is what? Or something is, and this is the only thing you're giving me to work with.
Are you happy?
Where's this coming from?
Shit, I don't know. Maybe because I care.
I know you care, Ty. Or at least I hope you do. I'm just confused. I don't really know what I'm meant to be helping. Or if I can at all at this point.
Then why the fuck are you trying?
Because I care, Ty. You're like family.
You're not going to tell me some bullshit like you love me, are you?
Now it was my turn to flinch, and I leaned back, not sure how to take that.
'Cause if you are, save it. I don't want to hear it.
Okay, well, I trailed off, shrinking into the beanbag and staying quiet. Ty shifted through a few emotions on his face before once again sighing and turning to me.
Look, why don't you put on another movie so we can just keep hanging out?
Okay, sure. I got up, did just that, returning my beanbag and sitting down. The movie played out in the same way at first, but both of us seemed to be sitting next to one another, shell-shocked. We didn't speak until the movie was done, too, or, without waiting for him to ask, I got up and went to change to the next one. But he reached out and grabbed my hand, yanked me back into my seat, and getting up and asserting his turn to change the movie. Then through that movie, I was uncomfortable, not watching it in favor of watching Ty, also not watching the movie, and instead staring into space. Ty? He looked across to me, a slight tilt on his head, and the quirk of his brow, wondering what I wanted. Are you okay? Like, really?
This again.
Well, yeah, this whole thing is nice, but it just doesn't feel right. Something about it feels off.
You're welcome to leave if you want.
But I don't. I want to be with you.
Why?
Because I like being with you.
Why?
Because you're, special to me.
Special? Oh, right. Special like I'm fucking retarded, I bet.
What? No, special like in here. I touched him on the chest, and for once he didn't flinch, instead just looking more confused as ever.
What do you mean, that you love me?
Well, I mean...
Don't you fucking dare!
Don't what? What did I do?
Don't you dare say you love me, Dave.
But Before I could finish the sentence, he had his hand clamping my muzzle shut, staring daggers at me.
The moment you say it, it becomes real, and I don't want to deal with it.
I frowned, trying to pry his hands off, but he doubled down, adding the other.
The last time you said it, I could just fucking pretend you were tired. That you were missing your dad. Or some other bullshit.
Thrashing against his hands, I lifted up my foot and kicked him in the side. Not too hard, but hard enough that it caught him off guard and I was able to escape. You liar! I held my fist ready and I went to hit him, but I couldn't bring myself to actually follow through with him looking at me. What happened to being patient? What happened to trying to figure it out? Why did you make me promise anything like that at all? Ty started to snarl, but I wasn't going to back down, both of us standing up at the same time, tense as anything.
And you bought that shit?
Well, yeah, because I trust you. Because you're my brother, and because I...
Don't you fucking dare.
What? Say that I love you? Well, I'm sorry that it's such an inconvenience to you. I was so angry, so upset, and hurt that he was treating me like this, that he was treating me this way, that I was speaking without really thinking. He'd riled me up, but that sweet spot seemed to be telling me I wasn't allowed to love him. I'm sorry that you feel so unlovable, that you're pushing me away for whatever reason you've decided this time. It's not fair, Ty.
I never wanted this. I didn't want you to love me.
And why not, Ty? What could possibly be the reason that you're saying such? My anger was broken by the stabbing feeling in my chest, accompanied by the sniffle and the whimper that came to follow. The high of my adrenaline was just being replaced with hurt and sadness. Why would you say things like that?
Because I'm an asshole. You have a fucking date with Dean tonight, and here you are spending time with me all lovey-dovey, and it's bullshit.
Then I won't go.
Oh, you're going to fucking go to that date.
You can't make me. I didn't like how he started to grin. Memories of early years started to crawl back. That cruel smirk he gave before something bad was about to happen to me. It was enough for me to take a step back, and I tried to keep my eyes dry.
Oh, I can make you do anything I fucking want, Dave.
How? He took another step forward, and I took one back. Then again, and again. What are you going to do to me?
Absolutely nothing.
Then he took another step closer, and I froze, not taking one back to keep our distance the same. He leaned down into my ear and whispered something that broke me, leaving me stunned.
I'm never going to love you, so fuck off.
After a few moments of silence, he shoved past me and left the room, leaving me silent, sobbing as tears started to stream down my face and mat my fur. I stumbled over to the beanbag and collapsed in it, curling into a ball and just openly sobbing. Not loud, but I didn't hold anything back. It just felt painful in a way I hadn't felt before, similar but different to Dad dying. Eventually, I guess I must have passed out, as the next time I remembered was a warm hand on my face, lightly calling my name. As I opened my eyes, Orlando was kneeling next to me, looking concerned, and rightly so.
Are you okay?
I flashed him a smile, but it broke immediately, replaced with a low whine and a few pitiful sobs.
Dave, what's wrong? What happened?
I clung to his front, unashamedly wiping my face on his shirt while he stroked my back. Tyson, In that moment, I didn't think about what mentioning his name might mean or cause Orlando to do, but he just remained stroking my back, only hesitating for a moment upon hearing the name.
Did he hurt you?
Pushing back from him to wipe my eyes on his sleeve, he let me fall carefully back into the beanbag while he sat cross-legged on the floor in front of me.
Did he hit you? What did he do to you?
He just... That sinking feeling returned. The special one that I remembered way back from when my dad died. I could hear it in my voice this time, though, and I could feel it on my face as everything relaxed. Not in the good way, but that defeated, sad way where I just stopped feeling. He said he doesn't love me at all.
Oh, well,
He said such mean things. All I wanted to do was help. But, and be there for him. And now I just, lifting my head to Orlando, took everything I had. And even then, I managed to crack a smile. I'm sorry. I guess I was wrong about him, huh? He wanted to say something, but was holding back. I could tell I could tell just from how the corners of his mouth were pulling back. It's all right. You can say it.
I think there's a lot to unpack when it comes to Tyson, but even then, the person that knows him best would be you.
Yeah, well, I thought so too. But now I just sore.
In here?
Carefully, he touched my chest, and I nodded slowly.
Okay, well.
He took my hands. With some effort, he pulled me up to my feet.
Come with me for a bit.
Okay. We went into the bedroom, and he closed the door behind us, sighing. I didn't look around all that much, but felt his hand take mine as he guided me over to the door to the bathroom. What are you doing?
You're going to have a shower. You're going to get under that hot water and just relax a little. Wash your face so you don't feel gross, and when you're done, I'll be here with a fresh towel and some clothes.
Okay.
So go on. Go get relaxed and I'll see you in a bit.
I wandered into the bathroom and leaned back against the door. And just listening, I heard Orlando wander around for a bit before leaving the room, and that's when I figured I should do the same, do as he said. Under the water, I felt a little better, or at least once I got to washing my face, I did. But with the clean face came a different kind of tiredness, maybe not quite apathy. Maybe not actually fatigue, but I was tired. Stepping out of the bedroom, I felt warm and fresh, but there was a level of numbness that I couldn't quite shake. I'm out of the shower.
I could see that. Come here.
He waved a brush at me, and I shuffled over to the bed to sit next to him.
Do you feel any better?
A little. Orlando went about brushing, and I let him work over my fur. I stared off, thinking about Tyson, worrying about him, and trying to figure out what went wrong and when. Am I a bad person?
Don't you start thinking you're in the wrong here, Dave.
But I must have done something wrong, right? For that to just happen?
Tyson has issues.
I have issues.
Well, yes, but everyone has issues. Tyson's are just, Tyson-sized.
What's that even mean?
I guess what I'm trying to say is that whatever issues he's got, there may be to be issues for him.
Why do I feel like one of his issues? Or maybe I'm not anymore. I don't know.
Dave, listen to me. You're handsome, loving, amazing guy. You always put others first, and you're always seeing the good in people before the bad, even Tyson.
I grunted, leaning a little more into the brush.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you being the kind of person you are is an issue for Tyson, then I don't think that's something you should be worrying about changing. If he can't appreciate the good in you, then good riddance.
You're just saying that because of past history.
I'm saying this because I'm right. If he wants to be an asshole, then let him be. Then let him. You have better things to worry about.
Can I tell you something, Orlando?
Of course.
I thought I loved him. I really did.
What changed?
Nothing. I don't know what this feeling is. I just don't know if what this feeling is love now. It's supposed to be this good feeling, but now I'm just lost.
Loving people isn't easy, Dave. Take it from me.
Why's that?
Just speaking from personal experience.
Oh. I hung my head a little more, eyes locked on the floor between my feet. Orlando,
Yeah.
do you love me? He froze mid-stroke, carefully and slowly finishing the path the brush was taking before slapping it against his other palm. Or at least that's what it sounded like.
Of course I do, Dave. We all do.
That's not what I meant.
Love is complicated, Dave. It's not the easiest thing to figure out, so I don't want to give you the wrong answer.
I whined as he wrapped his arm around me, squeezing me.
I know you're dear to me, and I wish you every happiness. I just don't think I can provide it to you for this time.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. You haven't done anything wrong. How about tonight? Just the two of us make some sweets and just binge eat and talk about boys, and how they're stupid.
I can't tonight. I have a thing with Dean.
You still want to do that?
I think so. It might be a nice distraction, and, Dean likes me.
I don't think it's the best idea, but it's up to you, really.
I still want to go on the date thing. It might help me forget about everything with Ty, if only for a night, too.
You're sure this is what you want?
I turned around and flashed him a smile. It wasn't entirely genuine, but I just wanted something that was a distraction to how I was feeling. Truthfully, the prospect of a night with Dean still sounded fun. I'm sure.
Well, okay. Yeah, right, okay.
Oh, excuse me. I should get ready for that, huh?
That makes two of us.
What do you mean?
I'll leave that part as a surprise. For now, change into these and do what you have left to do.
He patted me as he folded a nice set of clothes that I recognized as my own, and I hopped off the bed. And he hopped off the bed. You went into my room to get clothes?
Well, you weren't going to wear mine now, were you?
I'd consider it.
Oh, but yes, I went and got you some of your clothes. I'll see you downstairs when you're ready.
Orlando left me to get changed, and I started to have second thoughts. Around the time I was putting my shirt on over my head. Wandering over from Orlando's room, I went back to mine to see if Tyson was there, and to my relief, he wasn't. I didn't realize I was hoping he wouldn't, but there until I'd arrived. But as I was fixing my fur in the mirror, I was caught off guard by the sound of someone knocking on my bedroom door. Hello?
Dave?
Dean's sing-song voice carried through the door as I wandered over to open it, taking one last breath before I turned the handle. I put on the best smile I could manage.
Well, there you are.
Hey, Dean. He reached out for my hand, and I took it, finding it closing around mine.
I've got a treat for you.
Oh, yeah?
At least I hope so. Come on!
As quickly as he showed up, he guided me forward with barely enough time to close the door to my room.
Looking forward to this.
I think so.
Nervous?
Something like that, yeah.
Don't worry, I'm in the same boat.
He approached the door to the dining room and stopped short, knocking lightly on the doorframe.
Hello? Welcome! I have a reservation for two. Should be under Dean.
I looked between the two of them, a goofy smile forming on my face from how dumb this was sounding. But something about it was sweet and made me chuckle all the same.
Yes. Right this way, gentlemen.
Orlando wandered into the dining room again with a spring in his step, and I felt Dean's hand squeeze mine gently.
Ready to have dinner?
We were taken to the far end of the room, where two other people were set, where two places were set, close by to the kitchen where Orlando gestured for us to sit down. Dean hurried over to pull out my chair for me, and I sat, holding on as he pushed me in quickly before sitting down himself. Look at this expression. Okay, it's cute. It's cute. But I'm still reeling at what Tyson said to me. Okay.
So, a bit fancy, huh? Took a fair bit to get a reservation.
But Dean, this is just,
Oh, I know. But all things considered, I didn't do a bad job, huh?
What did it take to throw but what did it take to throw together?
A few favors. Nothing beyond that, really. Plus, picking the right time.
You you sure did pick a time.
Well, it was either now or never, in my opinion. If not now, when?
But with everything that's been going on, do you really think it's, appropriate?
I do. Everyone needs a break from worrying about things, and something nice to break stuff, break stuff up can just, I don't know, reset things.
I don't think I get it. Do you mean, make us, start worrying all over again?
No. More like unbottle all the worries, if only for just a little bit.
Before I could get a word out, Orlando came out with some soup and sat it in front of us. Pumpkin, likely used from what we carved from one of the big one in the greenhouse. If Orlando is our waiter, weren't we meant to get menus or something?
Not this time. I figured I'd let it be his call. He seemed to know what you like, and I'm pretty easy to please.
You had no say. You had no say for what we're eating at all.
I may have picked something for dessert.
That sounds like you absolutely did. What did you go with?
That'd ruin the surprise, wouldn't it?
I looked down at the soup and gave it a taste. Orlando wasn't one to disappoint, though. With what appeared to be some sort of white cheese crumble over the top, and what seemed like almost sprinkled over that. Almonds sprinkled over that. This is the fanciest pumpkin soup I've ever had.
Don't worry. It won't cost you anything. All my treat tonight.
He wiggled his eyebrows, and I shot him a look, the both of us chuckling before digging in. When we were done, Orlando came back out, and took the plates away. Excuse me, saying our main course wasn't far off. He's not seriously running everything by himself, is he?
Well, I don't think Sal would be helping all that much. Maybe washing dishes.
What about Roswell in Orlando? Roswell and Haas. I feel kind of bad, being in here by ourselves.
Nope. I asked them, this afternoon as part of the favor. They have, dinner already squared away in there. Think Haas and Roswell were going to do something together tonight anyway.
Like what? Murder?
I didn't say. Honestly, I didn't really worry about it so much, given I just wanted to spend the night with you instead.
Huh.
Why, huh?
It's a nice feeling, that's all.
Well, good. That was the plan, anyway.
The main course came out, and I caught Orlando giving me a wink as he set down the food in front of us. I wasn't sure what he was signaling, but everything looked great. Is that like spaghetti?
Nothing beats fresh pasta, huh?
We're not going to do this like the dogs do, right?
Wait, what?
You know, with the pasta and the mouth and whatever.
Oh, no, not this time. Might be a little messier than what I was expecting. Plus, we still have dessert to get to.
Probably a good idea, yeah.
Ah, before I forget, here.
He places down in front of me a small wooden carving. I set my fork down immediately to have a look. It's a hyena.
Well, I tried anyway. Glad to know you could recognize it.
It's mostly the teeth, although I think I'm just a special case.
Special in what way?
I think it's mostly my family that has the pronounced teeth. I've seen it in others, but I don't think it's like a thing that hyenas need.
Still think it's cute though.
I chuckled as I turned the carving over in my hand. But this is cool. I like it.
Then I'm glad. Pretty happy with how it came out, although I was a little rushed.
My stomach felt full and warm, and as the meal had been progressing, I found myself just being content in the moment. It was nice, and I found myself all the all the more thankful that Dean had decided to put all this together.
And here's dessert. Enjoy.
What's this? No, Dean, stop being cute. No. I looked down at the slice of pie in front of me. It smelled tangy and sweet, delicate, but inviting all the while. Lemon pie.
Not just any lemon meringue pie.
What's wrong?
Nothing. At least I don't think so. Just wondering something.
Like what? I'd gone ahead and tucked into my dessert, finding the flavor of my tongue making me smile.
I asked for pie, and I didn't expect this kind of pie.
You don't like it?
It's not that, just something someone used to make pie like this for me back in school is all.
Someone special?
You could say that. Yeah, I guess an ex-boyfriend of sorts, but,
Oh. Oh, right. Dave wouldn't know about that on this route. Dean took his fork to his pie and closed his eyes briefly, putting it into his mouth. What I didn't expect was a frown to form after. Does yours not taste good?
I'm just a little worried as to where Orlando got this recipe from. Maybe it's just been so long that I'm imagining things, but still.
Could always ask him.
True.
As if on cue, Orlando appeared to check on things.
Was everything alright? Can I get you to anything else?
Dean was wondering about where the recipe for the pie came from.
Oh, sorry, but that's a closely guarded secret. Was gifted by my coach.
Oh, right. Well, alright.
Besides, no offense, but I don't think you'd be able to pull off this recipe anyway.
What makes you say that?
Well...
Oh, his name was Rami. Rami.
Oh, did you just say... What? I hadn't gotten to say anything yet.
No, before that, you said Rami.
Oh, yeah. Watanuki-senpai taught me this recipe. Taught me a few others, but figured I'd burst this one out and given. He said he'd tested it. Tested it with bears before.
I looked twice. I looked between Dean and Orlando, slowly piecing it together.
Granted, bears always seem to be a touchy subject with him, even ever since what his ex did to him. He always found it kind of tough to talk about. Promised me I wouldn't let a bear break my heart, too.
The guilt on Dean's face was all too clear, and he shrank in his chair.
It's a good recipe. At least I think so.
I think the pie is good. Yeah.
What's gotten into you, Dean? You're the one that asked for the pie. Who asked for pie?
I didn't think you'd make his pie, though. I watched as Dean and Orlando started to look at each other, eyes wide. One looked panicked, the other slowly piecing things together as I continued to enjoy my pie.
Wait. You?
Dean threw his hands up.
Me? You and Rami? Seriously?
This might be a bad time, but can I have more pie? Orlando slid what pie was left on Dean's plate over to me and stared Dean down.
I was a little worried when Dave said that he'd had a bear show interest in him, but now it all makes sense. What makes sense?
Man, I don't know how to differentiate these voices. I kind of just realized I've given them I have a very limited vocal range. I'm sorry.
You and I are going to have a long talk after this, Dean. A long talk. What did I do? You know what you did to that Tanuki. If you think I'm going to let you do the same thing to Dave, you've got another thing coming.
But that was how long ago?
What?
Like, Dean hasn't done anything bad to me so far, so...
How long ago would it have been? Can we talk about Rami later? I didn't, know you two knew each other too, but... Okay, fine. Let me get you a new piece of pie, too. Sorry about that.
For what? Sounds like I should be apologizing for being there for that.
It's alright. Probably, better that it's going to be out in the open now anyway.
Orlando returned with another piece of pie, but gave Dean a wary look. The rest of dessert was spent quietly before Dean rose from his chair and looked out the window. I got up and saw Orlando came to clear the plates away. He gestured for me to go to Dean while he cleaned up. Dean took me by the hand and led me outside, closing the door behind us. He took me by the hand to the stairs at the end of the deck and sat down, bringing me with him.
This is nice.
I look across to Dean, who was looking up at the sky, dusk slowly shifting into night as more stars came into view. But his smile slowly faded, so that instead he just looked like he was thinking hard about something. Dean?
What's up?
Nothing. I think you were just zoning out a little.
Ah, right.
He played with his hands briefly, looking away.
Did you have a good time tonight?
What? Of course I did. The dinner was great, and I have this too. I pulled out the small figurine that he'd given me from my pocket, holding it at eye level. Well, what wasn't there to like?
Right, good.
His tone hinted that things weren't good, and he was just being polite. What's wrong?
I'm going to sound like a jerk for this.
Oh?
I had a great time, honestly. But something's just didn't spark. I assumed it would be last time, but nothing.
I blinked, unsure of what to make of it. Immediately, I started to wonder if I did something wrong, or said something to upset him, but he continued.
I mean, I do think you're cute, yes. Did I, like you a whole lot? Absolutely.
He looked at me, looking ashamed.
I think I like you too much for the wrong reasons. I think I love you, but not romantically. Not anymore, anyway.
I frowned. Not out of anger or confusion. The feeling in my chest made me feel like I was hurt, but I couldn't place how or why specifically.
I'm so sorry, Dave.
This sucks. I started to chuckle, feeling my eyes starting to water. I couldn't tell if they were, tired from being tired, or from being genuinely upset, but I was laughing all the same. This really sucks, Dean.
I know that I'm screwing this up. I made that mistake once already with Rami, and I don't want to go and do something wrong by someone else I care about.
But what about my feelings? Why don't I get a say? Yeah, can't we try and make it work anyway? He seemed a little stunned by my question, looking me over, trying to figure something out. What if I love you? What then?
I'm sorry, but
As he fumbled over his words, I felt anger, scared, and betrayed. Not from just Dean, but myself, and I think that was making it worse.
close your eyes, Dave.
The single comment shook me out of my building distress, and I looked at him confused. Why?
Just do it, please.
I was reluctant, but I did it anyway.
Good, okay. Take a deep breath, and I want you to think about something.
What?
Now, really think of it. When you close your eyes and think about the person you like most, who is it?
It's, No. No. Don't need to tell me.
Don't need to tell me.
I felt Dean put his hand on my face, and I trembled as I felt him get closer. But the contact never came. Instead, I heard the unmistakable sound of the door closing, the sound of the door behind us opening. Dean pulled back slowly, looking at Tyson with a wary gaze, uneasy. My eyes flicked between the two of them, comparing how Dean was stoic, and Ty was struggling to process what was happening.
What the? Oh, right. Figures.
No, Tyson.
Well, fuck you too!
Wait, Ty! I was half up before he disappeared back inside, and I felt a sinking feeling somewhere in my chest. What was going on? Why was he behaving this way despite what happened earlier? I could feel my breathing pick up the moment Dean grabbed my hand and I froze.
Go make sure he's alright.
But
I'll be fine. He probably needs you right now.
once more, I was confused, but my legs were already moving, scrambling towards the door and throwing it open so I could give chase. He wasn't in the foyer, which made sense from how quick he was to leave, but I wondered where he would have gone. The gym, maybe? Seemed too obvious, but something was drawing me upstairs. Following my gut, I headed to his room. His room was ajar when I got there, and I eased it open to see him sitting on the edge of the bed with his face buried in his hands. Ty? Closing the door behind me, I wandered closer and heard the sounds of sobbing. He didn't move, didn't flinch. As far as I knew, he didn't know I was there. I eased myself down to him, unsure of what to say. Thankfully, he spoke first.
I'm so fucked up.
His words came out as a croak, followed by him wiping his nose on the back of his arm. He was trying not to look at me, but once or twice I saw him look over, only to dip his gaze away soon after. What do you mean? I could see the snarl before it started, but the moment I leaned back, he grabbed fistful of his own fur and struggled as he tugged.
All that shit I said before.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And here I go, fucking ruining your date or whatever. Why the hell did you come up here anyway?
I don't know.
Fuck. Just thinking about you two like that, and walking in on that.
He trailed off there, replacing words with growl. His fists were clenched, at least having moved away from his fur, but he seemed to threaten to draw blood from how tense he was.
I'm such a fucking coward.
Why?
That should have been me.
That should have been you? Kissing me?
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know, Ty. His eyes were scanning me, trying to find something to say, but I got in first. I don't know what's going on between us. I don't know how I could help. I don't know what happened. I don't know why you were being all close to me only to say such mean things earlier today. It sucked. I breathed in, continuing and putting on my serious face. I assumed that if I stopped, I'd lose my momentum. It hurt. Worse than you've ever hurt me before. And I was scared, confused, torn between hating you and hating myself for letting it happen. Then I go on on Dean's date to try and have something nice, and all I can think about,
All you can think about is what?
whether or not you hate me. He grabbed me quickly by the collar, his eyes wide and furious, and fury, and the corners of his mouth turned into bare teeth.
I would never hate you.
Then why? Why would you say so? Why would you? Why would you ever? Why would? What would ever make you be so mean to me? We stayed in silence without an answer for a few moments before I felt his hands flex against my fur and watched as he looked away to breathe in deep. When he turned to me again, he had an intense stare as if sizing me up. Tyson? He breathed in again before almost bellowing out his words as if in defiance as to what they meant.
I'm a fucking queer, alright?
The absurdity of it made my mouth twitch upwards, despite a deep panic to not want to annoy Tyson further. That said, it didn't stop that trademark chuckle with it, Tyson roughly adjusting his grip on me again. He pulled me to him, our noses touching, as it was enough to stop me laughing. Not that it did anything to get rid of my smile on my face.
Don't you dare fucking laugh.
I'm sorry. I snickered a little more, not really sure what to say or do, or what was appropriate as far as a reaction.
God, just fuck it.
It was a slight adjustment, but rather than our noses touching, I had his mouth against mine in a kiss, or what could be called one. There was no technique, and it was closer to him just pressing his mouth against mine. But the moment I parted my mouth, he seemed to relax, and he leaned in harder, pulling me closer. It felt so surreal having him like this that I didn't even know what to do with my hands. Without breaking the kiss, he pushed me back on the bed, causing me to squeak against his tongue, but not for 1 second did he stop, even as he shifted how we were on the bed to be more comfortable. A couple of minutes, he pulled back, both of us breathing heavy. I looked up at him, stunned, and he looked back at me in a mix of disbelief and fear. Ty?
Yeah?
Did you just...
Shut up. I have something I need to say first.
What?
I love you. I know it's fucked up, and I know that it's wrong and all the other bullshit that goes with this. I don't know what... I don't know shit about how this meant to work, but that's the one thing I do know. That's,
That you love me?
yeah.
He nodded slowly, his expression unchanging.
I really fucking do.
As a brother? He huffed and leaned back, scratching his neck.
If it's as a brother, it's pretty fucked up. I don't know what you're... I don't know why you're the one that does these things to me, but I hate it.
What kind of things? It was at that moment I realized how he'd shifted us, with my rear in his lap.
I just assumed that one day you'd be all over me, and I wouldn't have to ask. That I could just figure it out then and play it off as just helping you out, letting you experiment being gay or whatever.
But I came onto you, Ty, before Dad, before Orlando. I told you first, I didn't need to experiment.
Look, I didn't know how this worked. I didn't like guys. I don't like guys, I don't like girls. I don't like anyone like this.
His hand flexed on his hip, and his ears drooped.
I hate not knowing what's happening to myself, or why you're just the one thing I can't explain about where I fit in the world. But I know you're the exception.
Why didn't you say anything?
Cause I was shit scared, what it'd mean, or what your dad would think.
I shifted onto my elbow, and he leaned back to give me the space. I think he would have been fine with it.
Look, I'm sorry. I fucked up your night, and I'm a piece of shit for saying that stuff earlier. But now you know.
I don't think I'll properly know until I've had time to process it. He nods slowly and sighs, looking off to the side. But Ty, he looked to me, confused and curious. I had no idea what was going through my head, but I know I had a choice to make.
What?
But there wasn't a choice here. I reached out to his chest, running my hands through his fur around his neck, and looked him in the eyes. I love you too.
Really? Even after?
There was a hint of disbelief in his voice, even at a whisper, but I nodded to him. After a few moments passed before we kissed again, building to that same intensity, and when he kissed me the first time. There was enough of a pause to remove my shirt, and then his. But that was it before it became very clear where we were going, and we were getting there fast. We both wanted it, and even after joking about it for a while, we were both eager. Just feeling him against me, like this felt right. It made me feel wanted, and for now, everything else could just wait until after I had my moment with my wolf. The two of us were out of breath. My rear was sore, and for the most part, we were sticky. That was, I couldn't describe it, but from how Ty was tightly holding my hand, he had the same idea. Even being stuck together for a bit, just writing things out, was full of feelings I'd never felt before, and part of me was eager to try it again soon.
You alright?
His voice was softer, relaxed, as if we were whispering only to me. I think so.
Come on, shower time. You stink.
He scrambled off to bed and dragged me along with him, off the bed, pushing us under the water the moment it was hot.
Can't have you stinking like me right now.
Why not? He just looked at me from over my shoulder, and I could feel him riding up under my tail, getting excited all over again.
You can't say shit like that to me. It'll get me going again.
Did you want to go again?
Fuck yes I do, but...
But what?
Tell me again, Dave. I want to hear you say it, so this isn't some kind of fucked up dream I'm having.
What? That I love you? The wet thump of his tail hitting the tile next to us made me smirk, and he rested his chin in on my neck.
One more time.
I love you, Ty.
I don't really deserve you. I hope you know that.
Then work for it. I'm not going anywhere, but you hurt me like that again, and well... I barely got a word out before he had his arms around my middle, hugging me tight.
I'll make it up to you. Promise.
You better. The others aren't going to put up with you. The others aren't gonna put up with it either. He whined, but I reached back to hug him around the neck. But for now, at least, you've got a boyfriend, right?
Boyfriend?
I could feel the corner of his mouth shift upwards, and his tail started wagging all over again. He repeats the words with the slightest hint of excitement, and once again, I felt him under my tail. If that's what you want to call this, right?
I do. I really do. Of course I fucking do.
Well, let's get clean so I don't smell of you, so at least I can go fill Dean in on what happened. The wagging stopped.
Right, shit.
I assume that's why you didn't want me smelling like you.
Well, mostly just, to get... mostly just need to get used to not having to hide this sort of stuff. You're mine now, right?
So, you would have been fine with me going to talk to Dean like that?
Probably not a good idea, but God, when we're alone again, your ass is mine.
I stepped out of the bathroom, refreshing while Tyson finished drying off. Ty, I'm going to go find Dean and explain, okay?
Yeah, okay.
He approached me slowly, placing his hands on my shoulders.
Come back soon.
What, afraid I'll be gone for too long?
No.
Aw, Tyson, you're gonna make me think you're a hopeless puppy at this rate. I ruffled the fur around his neck, and he just stared at me unimpressed. I expected him to quip back with something, but it never came. I won't be long.
Good. I'll be waiting.
As I came downstairs, I could already hear the yelling. It seemed to be a pattern that yelling happened right after a lull in activity, but I followed it after the same.
And another thing!
Orlando had one of his fingers directly against Dean's chest, knife in the other hand. He stopped when he looked over at me before turning back to Dean.
Saved by the hyena.
Am I interrupting something?
A murder?
Just giving Dean a piece of my
mind in regarding our mutual friend. If I had any way of contacting him or something, I'd have done so to apologize. Maybe he doesn't want an apology. How do you know? I get the feeling for these sorts of things. But he never told you my name? Well, no.
Orlando shrank slightly. Excuse me. And Dean turned to me, looking me over.
You've had a shower. I'm guessing things went well. Not to mention you were gone for a while.
Sorry, things sort of happened.
But you're all good now.
I think so. Things are good.
Then I'm glad. Sorry that it didn't work out, but for what it's worth, if you're happy, then I'm happy too. What didn't work out? The date? Yeah, turns out that wasn't meant to be. Was it something with the food?
No, nothing like that. Just,
Where's Tyson? What do you mean, where's Tyson?
Upstairs, waiting.
Waiting, huh? Waiting for what?
I'll tell you tomorrow. But, could I borrow Dean for a moment?
I guess so.
But before I forget, thanks a bunch for tonight, Orlando. I had fun, and the food was great.
Oh, you're very welcome. Just, don't forget to fill me in on what's going on.
Dean ushered me into the dining room and closed the door behind him.
Well?
I want to apologize again.
You've got nothing to apologize for.
Well, I want to apologize. Things are complicated, but I'm slowly figuring it out.
As your friend, take all the time you need. I'm happy for you. Really.
Dean glanced back at the door quickly.
Give me a few dice to recover, though. Disappointment and all that.
Sorry.
Don't be. Just do me a favor.
What?
If he treats you wrong, let me know, alright? I'll sort him out.
Okay, promise.
Maybe I'll show him a couple things, too, depending on what's happening, too. I think we could, find something that we both like that isn't cartoons, anyway.
I think he'd like that.
Now go on. You have a wolf, to get back to.
I nodded. With a wave, he sent me on my way, turning around to head back into the kitchen, presumably to where Orlando still was. As for me, I headed back upstairs to where Tyson was. I get back to Tyson's room and looked around. The moment I closed the door behind me, I was grabbed and pinned against the door. Another kiss, just as clumsily as the first.
You're back.
Told you I wasn't gone long.
You're coming to bed now?
Did you Want to call it in early, or? He stepped forward and started to grind against me shamelessly. What he wanted clear, wanted clear as anything. I chuckled nervously, finding it having a similar effect on me from the prospect of it, momentarily forgetting the tenderness in my behind from earlier. You don't want to go to sleep at all, do you?
Nope.
He had his hands against me, touching without restraint, eyes filled with a giddy hunger that made me feel small, but just as eager. Okay, but before we do, we need to have a small talk.
What's there to talk about?
For starters, I want to sleep in my room, at least for tonight.
Alright, well, let's go.
Wait, that's not all.
What else?
I like what we did, I really do, but like, we don't have to do it all the time, you know?
But it felt great. At least doing it with you felt great, you know.
Right, but we could still just cuddle. We can talk about things, and now we can also do other stuff, right? He seemed to think it over as he reached out to my face.
You sure?
If I didn't go check up, if I didn't go check back up with Dean, I probably would have said yes in the shower.
Huh. Stop teasing me.
Not my fault. You've been stopping yourself from being a horn dog.
I'm not a...
You are, but I like it.
You don't go making dumb jokes about it.
Just don't make dumb jokes about it. How about this? We go to my room. We can do whatever we want.
Anything?
Yep.
Well, shit. Let me go. Let me go get some clothes and whatever, and we can go go to bed.
He quickly moved around to the room and gathered his things. Marched out of the room with me now. He didn't even care that he was still in his boxers, and the moment we were in my room, he threw his clothes off to the side and we kissed again. He flicked the lights off and we made our way over to the bed, him undressing me along the way, and we settled into a repeat of what we'd done not even an hour earlier. We fell asleep sometime later, exhausted, and still as close together as we possibly could be. Ty holding me against his front, with the two of us just as messy as we'd been before the shower. But I just have to deal with it in the morning. As for now, I was happy. Okay. That was a good update. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked finally getting a payoff for like your relationship with Tyson. I was real scared there for a moment. I'll be honest. I thought when he said that, like, you know, in the rec room, that like I fucked up and I didn't get enough like points with him to get into the relationship, but we got there. It's so heartwarming. Oh, Tyson truly is best boy. But I'll see you around, everyone, okay? I'll stop my simping.